Another of my favorite people. I know I have like 20 favorite people here, but this really is. This is Stuart Simpson, owner of the Barbarians, which is normally a superbly high-performing boat. A little bit of a tough week, huh? What happened, boys? Nigel Young, North Sales UK, tactician. So, Stuart, what happened? Seriously, you guys, where'd you end up?
11th.
11th. So that's it hasn't happened in a long time.
You said we were going to be. I mean, you have the gift of prescience.
So seriously though, seriously, tactician Nigel Young, what was the story out there?
I think the conditions were particularly testing, and despite being very windy on day one, the conditions were so changeable that it was very difficult to get into a rhythm. And even when you're in a really good position on the course, you couldn't take your eye off the ball. And we just weren't really on it, for the week. We sailed pretty good. We've sailed together for a long time, so we didn't sail too bad. But we just, you can blame the tactician because they have big shoulders.
Let me ask you this one. You're a very solid tactician in the fleet for a long time in various fleets, but you're very conservative. Did that hurt you here?
Probably. Yeah. And you wrote that on my little doc tag today, and so we were very appreciative for your comments. But now that would be a fair comment. My style is conservative, which goes with my nature, I think, in general. But yeah, I think this reminded. Well, it really is. Although the water's a bit salty, it really is an inland venue.
Yeah.
And
it's a big lake.
It is, and I would be, like yesterday's racing was what we described as more normal. If you know what I mean, little sort of 5, 10, 15 degree shifts rather than 35 degrees and sort of 15 knots 1 minute, 25, maybe 28 knots the next. So, yeah, the conservative style maybe doesn't work that well in those conditions.
So, you guys will be back for the Worlds, I'm sure.
We will. I think we're going to invest in some more clothing. Because frankly, we didn't anticipate it being quite as cold as it has been. But no, we're coming back. Yeah.
So, Jamie Lee, helmsman, former Finn Olympian, is that right?
I was second at the trials.
Second at the trials. So Jamie drives the Barbarians. Jamie, talk about the competition. I'll just tell you my impression. We had 99 boats at Key Largo 3 years ago, and you drove there too, didn't you?
Yeah.
And to me, I think the top 20 boats here were more competitive than the top 20 at Key Largo.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I reckon we did the US Nationals last month, and a lot of the boats were here as well, but there was also about another 6 or 7 that weren't there.
Right.
And, obviously they've come back to this event and basically beaten us. So, but yeah, as Nigel said, I think our style of sailing for this venue as well, if it was a proper venue, it would have been alright, because we were getting pretty good starts earlier in the week. And
so it was an improper venue. So it was an improper venue.
Well,
but it is tough. It is a tough place.
I think what he's saying is that some of the starts I'd forgotten actually in the early part of the week. Some of the starts we got, if you got a start like that in a more regular style
You'd be off like
sailing,
Dan's pants.
Yeah, you would have been gone. You'd have been in the top 3 guaranteed. You could not get those starts and not be in the top 3. But you had to continue with that aggressive starting, which we were doing early on. You had to continue to sail the race in that way, and I think
you had to be aggressive all the way around the course and take chances and hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
So Jamie, what else will you do besides be a bit more aggressive next year? You get here a little early. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I guess I think we always need a little bit more practice. It'd be nice to come to an event maybe 3 or 4 days before and do a few days sailing. And I think next time around we'll definitely come out earlier and do a couple of days on the water practice, trying to get our heads around the conditions.
Now you guys will shift gears here. I don't know if you're involved, but the team will shift gears here for Key West and Miami into the 32, right? So are you involved in that program as well?
Yeah, our next event is Fort Lauderdale in the 32.
Which I think we'll be there doing on the water Anarchy. I'm not sure yet, but if we can work it out, we will.
Well, if you could predict a good finish for us there, that would be much appreciated.
What do you think? Compare what you expect in Lauderdale, where the class is talking about 25, possibly 30 boats. Compare what you think of the competition there will be to here.
Well, I guess we're quite new to the 32, so we're still trying to get our heads around the competition. But for sure there's like 10, 15 boats that are really good there anyway. And we've done 2 events. We did Key West and we did Newport. And the top of the fleet, the standard there is pretty good. We're still trying to find our feet a little bit there, so it's a big learning curve for us at the moment. So, but yeah, hopefully we'll put some more time into that boat as well.
Now, what do you do on the 32?
I'm main sheet.
You're main sheet.
Yeah.
And you're driving, right?
I'm driving.
Now, I know that last year at Key West we watched you turn upwind with the kite up.
Yeah,
And we had one of our most fun shots ever in On the Water Anarchy.
To keep you amused.
I love it.
Yeah,
How do you like driving?
Yeah, the only problem is when you're coming in on port at the finish line and you need water and you're doing like 17 knots, you can either stuff it into the committee boat or you can keep you
Go
happy.
around and get on your side.
We kept you happy, but there we are.
You did, you did. Tell me about driving it. How does it feel?
It's a major improvement over the first boat we drove, which was in Lake Garda last year, and I first drove that, and there was something wrong with the whole rudder setup and the bearings, and it was a pig to drive, and I said I'd never get one anyway. Nigel persevered, and he talked me into it. But this boat we've got, the Newport boat, it's absolutely set up really well. The boat we had in Key West and the one in Lerici were both older boats, and they were charter boats. But you know, we're looking forward to getting back into the main boat, the Newport boat in Fort Lauderdale, because that is really well set up. You know, our friend Federico Michetti and Nigel spent a lot of time sorting that out. It feels fast. We've got some upwind speed. We're just trying to get the crew settled down. We've got a couple of slots that we need to get nailed, but we're getting close to that. So we're hoping we're going to be close to our lineup at the end of this event, and certainly by Key West next year. I think we'll enter 2000.
Well, if you need a big bastard to pull on the strings, let me know. All right, Stuart, we look forward to seeing good things from you in Lauderdale and Miami and Key West, and thank you for the interview, and thank you for sponsoring this great party tonight, and it's good to see you as always.
Yeah, I hope you feel the same way tomorrow when you wake up.
I think I won't. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.